My sister-in-law demands I sell my hard-earned rental house to bail her out of debt, guilting me and straining my marriage as my husband wavers. Furious and hurt, I refuse to give in, fighting to protect what's mine while facing family pressure. Hey everyone, my name's Grace. I'm 28 years old, and I've been sitting on this mess for a while now, trying to figure out if I'm losing my mind or if I'm actually in the right here. I'm married to my husband, Liam, who's 30, and we've been together for about 5 years, married for 2. He's a good guy most of the time, works hard, pretty chill, doesn't pick fights over dumb stuff. But his sister, Scarlett, who's 34, has been driving me up the wall lately, and it's gotten to the point where I don't even know how to deal with her anymore. I need to vent about this somewhere, and I figured Reddit's as good a place as any to get some outside perspective. So here's the deal. I own a small rental property, a little 2-bedroom house about an hour from where we live. I bought it a few years back, before I even met Liam, with money I'd saved up from working my butt off at a soul-crushing retail job and some extra cash I got from an inheritance when my grandpa passed. It's not fancy or anything, but it's mine, you know? I rent it out to this sweet older couple, and the income's been a nice little cushion for me. I've always seen it as my safety net, something I could fall back on if life ever went sideways. Liam's cool with it. He's never had an issue with me keeping it separate from our joint finances. We've got our shared savings and bills, but this house, it's my thing. Enter Scarlett. She's Liam's older sister, single, no kids, and honestly, she's the kind of person who always seems to have some kind of drama going on. She's loud, opinionated, and has this way of making everything about her. Like, if you're having a bad day, she's had a worse one. If you're celebrating something, she's got a bigger win to talk about. I've never been super close to her. She's not really my vibe. But I've always tried to keep things civil because, well, family, right? Liam's super close to her, though, since they grew up pretty tight after their parents split when they were kids. He's always been the one to bail her out when she's in a jam, and I've never minded too much. Until now. About 6 months ago, Scarlett started dropping hints that she was going through some stuff. She'd call Liam late at night, crying about how she was drowning in credit card debt and how her job, she's a freelance graphic designer, wasn't paying like it used to. I felt bad for her at first. I mean, who hasn't had a rough patch? But then the hints turned into full-on sob stories every time we saw her. She'd come over for dinner and spend the whole time complaining about how broke she was, how she couldn't afford her rent, how she was this close to getting evicted. Liam would just nod along, trying to cheer her up, while I'd sit there quietly, not really sure what to say. Then, maybe 2 months ago, she started getting weirdly specific. She'd bring up my rental house out of nowhere. Like, we'd be talking about something totally random, movies, the weather, whatever, and she'd go, "Oh, Grace, how's that little house of yours doing? Still got those tenants in there?" At first, I didn't think much of it. I'd just say, "Yeah, it's fine, they're good people," and move on. But she kept bringing it up, over and over, until it started feeling less like small talk and more like she was fishing for something. Finally, about 3 weeks ago, she dropped the bomb. She came over to our place one night, uninvited, by the way, which is a whole other thing I'll get to later, and sat us both down like she was about to give some big speech. She starts going on about how she's hit rock bottom and how she's been trying to figure out a way to get back on her feet. Then she looks at me, dead serious, and says, "Grace, I think you should sell your rental house. I could really use the money right now, and it'd be such a huge help for me to get my life together." I just sat there, blinking, not even sure I'd heard her right. Liam didn't say anything either. He looked as shocked as I felt. I finally managed to stammer out, What? Why would I sell my house for you?" And she launches into this whole spiel about how family helps family, how I've got this extra asset just sitting there, and how it's not like I need it since Liam and I are doing fine. She even had the nerve to say, "You're not even using it. It's just collecting dust while I'm over here struggling to survive." I was floored. Like, this house isn't some random thing I picked up on a whim. It's mine. I worked for it. I paid for it. And yeah, I rent it out, but that doesn't mean it's collecting dust. It's an investment, my security, something I've always had in my back pocket. I told her flat out, "No, I'm not selling it. That's not even up for discussion." She got all teary-eyed and accused me of being selfish, saying stuff like, I thought you'd understand what it's like to struggle, and I guess I misjudged what kind of person you are." Then she stormed out, leaving me and Liam sitting there in this awkward silence. Liam didn't say much that night, just kind of mumbled something about how Scarlett's been stressed and we should give her time to cool off. But the next day, he started acting weird. Like, he'd bring her up casually and say stuff like, "She's really in a bad spot, you know." Or, "Maybe there's some way we could help her out." I could tell he wasn't fully on her side, but he wasn't exactly on mine either. It's like he's stuck in the middle, trying not to pick a fight with either of us. Since then, Scarlett's been relentless. She's texted me a bunch of times, long paragraphs about how I'm hoarding wealth and how she's family, so I owe her. She even showed up at our place again last week, again, uninvited, and tried to guilt-trip me in person. She brought up how Liam's always helped her out, how their mom thinks I should step up, which I haven't even confirmed with my mother-in-law yet, and how I'm tearing the family apart by not pitching in. I kept my cool and told her no again, but she just wouldn't let it go. She left after about an hour of arguing, and I was so drained I just went to bed. Here's where the sub-conflicts come in, because this isn't just about the house anymore. It's snowballed into a bunch of other crap. First off, Liam's starting to crack under the pressure. He's not demanding I sell the house or anything, but he's been dropping these little comments like, "Maybe we could loan her some money instead," or "She's my sister, Grace. I can't just watch her sink." I get that he feels torn. He loves her, and he's always been her safety net. But I'm pissed that he's even entertaining this. We've got our own life, our own plans. We're trying to save up to maybe start a family in a couple years, and I don't want to drain our savings, or worse, my personal property, to fix Scarlett's mess. It's not like she's ever offered to help us out when we've had tight months. Second, there's this whole thing with her showing up unannounced. It's happened 3 times now, and it's driving me nuts. Last time, I was in the middle of a Zoom call for work. She just barged in, talking over me like it was no big deal. I had to mute myself and tell her to wait in the kitchen, and my boss totally heard the whole thing. I was mortified. I've told Liam we need to set some boundaries, like maybe a call before you come over rule, but he thinks I'm overreacting. He's like, "She's family. She doesn't need an invitation." I get that she's his sister, but I live here too, you know? It's my home, not her personal drop-in center. Third, I'm starting to feel like the bad guy in the family. Scarlett's been talking to their mom, and now I'm getting these passive-aggressive texts from my mother-in-law about supporting each other in tough times. I haven't responded yet because I don't even know where to start. Liam says his mom's just worried about Scarlett and doesn't mean anything by it, but it still stings. I've always gotten along with his family, or at least I thought I did, and now I feel like they're all whispering about how I'm some cold-hearted jerk who won't help out. On top of all that, I've been second-guessing myself. Like, am I being too harsh? Scarlett is struggling, and I'm not heartless. I've been broke before. I know how much it sucks. Part of me wonders if I should just give her a loan or something. But then I snap out of it, because why the hell should I have to? She's a grown woman. She's 34, not some kid who needs bailing out every 5 minutes. And it's not like she's even tried to figure this out herself. She hasn't mentioned getting a second job, cutting expenses, nothing. She just wants me to hand her a solution on a silver platter. I've been replaying that first big conversation in my head a lot. The way she looked at me, all teary and desperate, but then flipped it into this guilt trip about how I'm selfish. It stuck with me. I grew up in a family where you didn't ask for handouts, you figured it out. My parents were strict about that. If I wanted something, I worked for it. That's why the house means so much to me. It's proof I can stand on my own 2 feet. But Scarlett's acting like I owe her just because we're related by marriage. I didn't sign up for this. Liam and I had a big talk about it last night, and it didn't go great. I told him how frustrated I am, how I feel like Scarlett's trying to steamroll me, and how I hate that he's not fully backing me up. He got defensive, saying I don't get how hard it is for him to see her like this, and how he wishes I'd at least consider helping her. I shot back that it's not my job to fix her life, and he got quiet, like he didn't know what to say. We didn't yell or anything, but it was tense, and we went to bed without really resolving it. Now I'm just sitting here, typing this out, wondering where the line is. I keep thinking about what my life was like before all this. When I bought that house, I was so proud. I'd come home from work, exhausted, and just sit there imagining what it'd be like to have something of my own. It's not even about the money. It's about knowing I did it. And now Scarlett's trying to take that away from me, or at least make me feel like garbage for not handing it over. I don't know how to get through to her, or to Liam, that this isn't about me being stingy. It's about me keeping what's mine. So, Reddit, I'm at a loss here. I don't want to sell my house, obviously, but I also don't want this to blow up my marriage or turn me into the family villain. I've been trying to stay calm, but it's eating at me. Am I being unreasonable? Am I the one screwing up by not bending on this? I just need some outside eyes on this whole mess. Thanks for reading. I know it's a lot.
Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the story. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss our daily updates.